Hey guys, how's it going? This is Obi with Lion Strong Fitness Global, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in to watch this video, guys. It's always appreciated. Just know that every time you guys tune in to my channel and click on one of my videos, I'm here to provide value and insightful information that not only can you take away and walk away from, but you'll be able to apply as soon as you click off the video. So, guys, with that said, we'll get into today's topic, or the video's topic. So we're going to talk about some hidden truths and reasons why you're not burning fat and why you're struggling with that. Now, people oftentimes are going to think that it's diet. Oh, well, I just got to fix my diet. Guys, I have a different approach when it comes to nutrition. But keep in mind that I do believe that the thing that comes first and foremost is training. Training is number one, okay? And the reason why training is number one is because in order for nutrition to do what it's supposed to do, in order for it to work, okay, you have to make sure that you are taking care of what's most important, and you have to provide your body with a stimulus, or a good enough stimulus for the body to change. In other words, when you're training at a certain capacity, what's happening is you're telling your body what you want it to do. Now, in addition to that, in order to fulfill those obligations and to fulfill those desires, that's when nutrition comes into place. So it means kind of like how people, take supplements. They think that if I just take protein powder, it's gonna work. Well, protein powder is a supplement. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that there's this thing you're supposed to be doing, right? And by combining what I'm supposed to be doing with this, that's what's going to allow me to realize the changes that I want. And I look at nutrition and sleep as supplements to nutrition, or supplements to training. Okay, so and I say that because training is the most important. People don't realize that oftentimes people have an issue with not training hard enough. They're not really doing the correct methods, in my opinion, that leads to better results. And oftentimes when I talk in my videos, I do make a lot of TikTok videos, guys, at Lion Strong Fitness Global. You guys can check that out. And I always talk about how, people typically train with the typical 3 sets of 10, right? Now, my issue with that is that's a very bare minimum approach to training. Why? It's because that's what everybody does, 3 sets of 10. They'll do 10 reps and they'll rest for 3 minutes, and their heart rate comes down. Their bodies are not stimulated, and they wonder why they're not seeing progress. Well, guys, there's a reason why society promotes 3 sets of 10. It's because it's more marketable. It's something that anybody can hear and just do. But the problem is that when they do it, they're not seeing results. Now, my approach when it comes to the Lion Strong Fusion training methodologies, and I do have my programs, guys, my Lion Strong Fusion training programs. If you look into the pin in the comments and in the description, you'll be able to see a link to my website where you can check out my programs, guys. So basically, these are dumbbell-based programs in which instead of counting repetitions, like everyone does, I focus on doing things for time. Now, the reason why doing that's a better approach is because when you do your reps for time, when you do your sets for time, and you're really focusing on like going for 3 minutes instead of going for just 10 reps, you're getting a number of different things in the process. So for example, of course, first of all, when you're warming up, I believe in actually warming up through dynamic motion, doing things that get your heart rate up. Okay, so instead of doing the static stretching like this, right, I prefer to warm up through movement. So for example, I'll take dumbbells and I'll do what's called jumping jack presses, which is a very popular exercise in my program. It's a great warm-up, but it's also killer. You'll take dumbbells like this and you're gonna do this. Okay, so I like doing that because not only does it get my body moving, I'm using resistance to help stimulate my muscles. But from doing the movement and doing that for 60 seconds plus, you're gonna get your heart rate up, right? And by doing that, you can start to move into your training. And let's just say for the first set, you're doing a shoulder press, right? So since you're already warmed up, I would grab a heavier load and I'll do as many as I can. So let's say the objective is to do 2 minutes. Let's say you get one of my programs. The objective is 2 minutes. You're doing 2 minutes, as many as you can. Now you're gonna notice that you're gonna start to get fatigued, you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna have to drop the weight. Now, even though you have to drop the weight that you just drop down to feels just like the one you just used. It's because you're exhausted, okay? And that's an example of training to failure. And also, by you having to drop the weight, what are you naturally doing? You're doing a drop set, okay? This is another way to add intensity to your training. So let's just say you're still going, you're doing your shoulder press, you have to drop the weight again, because again, those muscles are burning, they're fatiguing. Now you're really, adding more intensity. And what's happening as a byproduct is your heart rate is racing, right? Now you're kind of stepping into getting that cardio now. Because people oftentimes they will do their strength training, but they think they have to do their cardio later. Well, with this kind of training, doing it for time, you're getting more time under tension, more intensity, because you have to drop the weight, you're going to failure. And by doing that, guys, that's how you stimulate the metabolism. You have to be able to have all these disturbances happening all at once, so that way the body is forced to adapt. And that's how it is. Every time you train, it's another opportunity to try to force adaptation. Now, when you force adaptation, that's when nutrition comes into play. That's when eating the higher protein foods, eating the good source of carbohydrates, eating those vegetables. People oftentimes think that the food makes you drop fat, and it's not that, it's the stimulus, okay? It's the stimulus. Food is fuel, guys. And when you do my programs or training like this, you're basically re-engineering, you're programming your body to be a machine, okay? So much so that when you start eating food, your body starts to assimilate it better versus before when you didn't have as much muscle, okay? Now, what is that called? That's called increasing your insulin sensitivity. You have two situations. You have people who are insulin sensitive and people who are insulin resistant. I'm sure you've heard that before. Okay, when you're insulin resistant, these are the individuals that typically tend to store body fat. Their bodies can't metabolize it as well. So when you eat food, your body has been conditioned to more. It's been conditioned more to. Hold on, guys. I gotta close the window. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, but when you what was my train of thought? Yeah, so people who are insulin resistant have a tendency of not being able to partition the calories that they're consuming towards muscle. So the thing is, when you start training properly and you start to put on muscle, which affects your metabolism, now your body is trained to be like, okay, I'm going to take this food and use it to build muscle. That's what basically being more insulin sensitive means. Okay, so aside from doing the training that I'm talking about, the doing it for time, instead of focus on counting repetitions, you're getting a multitude of things. You're building strength, because strength isn't just something that you just do for a few reps. Strength is how long can you sustain for a long period of time. I think somebody who can do a bench press. Let's say you have 80-pound dumbbells. I think it's more impressive for someone to be able to press 80-pound dumbbells over the course of 3 minutes, right? Not straight, but just, even though you're burning out, you still, you take a little break and you go back and you keep pressing. That's more impressive than somebody who can press 120 pounds just once or twice, okay? To me, that's not functional. So you want to be able to have that. And in the process of doing that, guys, you're breaking down muscle tissue, okay? Okay, and then on top of that, because you have to, like I talked about before, because you have to keep dropping the weight, you're adding intensity, because you're doing a forced drop set. And by doing a forced drop set, you're still going, heart rate's elevating. Ideally, guys, you want your heart rate to be close to or above 150 beats per minute. In addition to the strength training, that's the key, guys, and that's how you create that disturbance. Okay, so I just think that if people start to adopt a more time-based approach when it comes to training, they're going to be better off when it comes to seeing better results. And here's the cool thing about it, guys. Like I always promote in my Line Strong Fusion training programs, training like this actually takes you a lot less time. If you're that guy who spends an hour, 2 hours in the gym, trust me, if you train like this, you're going to be there for under 30 minutes, even less. It's because that intensity is king. Okay, and guys, why this is important? Because I'm all about providing solutions that's going to give you better results. Okay, I'm living proof. I practice this. All my clients practice this, and people that go on my website, which is lionstrongfitness.net, and they see all those amazing transformations, Okay, those are from people who've employed my tactics. And it's not just those people. I have thousands more that purchase my programs and get my coaching, and they're able to benefit as well. That's the key. Yo, sorry guys, my dog. So that's the key, is you want to be able to maximize your abilities. Okay, so guys, with that said, sorry guys. With that said, I think it's important for you guys to take that in mind. You know, jump on something that's going to really benefit you, but keep in mind, guys, that training is always number one. Okay. Again, I'm not disregarding nutrition. I'm not disregarding proper sleep. That's needed. But like I said before, you need to create the incentive to where the body needs that stuff. Okay. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to drop another one right after this. If you guys have any other questions or anything else you guys want to know, or yes, if you guys are confused on anything I said, feel free to leave it in the comments. You can shoot me an email. My email is linestrongceo@gmail.com. And be sure to check out my Line Strong Fusion training programs, guys. I have levels 1 through 7. They're amazing systems. You know, they're all time-based programs where all you need is dumbbells. You can do them anywhere and any place in the world. Workouts take under 30 minutes. They're highly impactful. You know why? Because they're structured the right way. Guys, when you have the right structure, when you have the right system, that's how you go far. Guys, thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like button and subscribe so more people can see this video. And you guys have a good one. Take care.